My name is Kyle Niewhoener. I'm attorney in our transactional department. A forbearance agreement is used after a loan is in default, and it is basically an agreement between the lender and the borrower, where the lender agrees to forbear from taking some type of an enforcement action in exchange for the borrower performing some type of action. And typically, a forbearance agreement is going to involve the lender agreeing to not foreclose for a certain amount of time, or if they've already started foreclosure, to stop from proceeding with the next step of the foreclosure for a certain amount of time. And typically in exchange for that, the borrower is going to make some type of payment, either a one-time payment at the execution of the agreement or ongoing payments during the forbearance period, or both. However, a forbearance agreement is a very customized document, and there can be all sorts of different types of agreements, different types of actions performed, particularly by the borrower as part of the agreement. And so just as the general structure, if your loan is in default and you want to try to work something out with the borrower before you start foreclosure, a forbearance agreement is often a good way to do that. And often the context of forbearance agreement is that the loan has matured. The borrower wants more time to try to sell the property or to try to refinance the loan. And the lender wants to give them some time to do that before they start foreclosure. And so that's often, but not always, the context of a forbearance agreement. There's also often confusion between a forbearance agreement and a modification agreement, because they both can do a lot of the same things. They can change the payments due under the note, or give the borrower more time before they have to pay off the loan. The basic difference between the two is that with a forbearance agreement, the loan is in default at the time of the agreement. And after the agreement is in effect, the loan is still going to be in default for the term of that agreement. It's just that the lender has agreed that if the borrower does certain things, that they won't take an enforcement action. Whereas with a modification agreement, the loan may or may not be in default before the agreement, but afterwards, it's no longer in default unless there's some type of new default after the modification agreement comes into effect. So that's a basic agreement difference between those two types of agreements.